Going live. All right, we're here, folks. We're ready to roll. Just please let us know that you can hear me, but first of all, we'll go over some rules here. We're going to start off the action in a couple of minutes with Xenaero and Solar, and they're going to duke it out in a best of 3 to kick off today. But rules-wise, we got first 250 frags or most frags at 20 minutes. All this is on the right side of the screen if you can't tell I'm reading it. We got if you come to a tiebreaker, it's the first frag in OT, so just sudden death. Top 4 players will advance to the finals today, so every single qualifier so far, 4 players have advanced to the finals, and today that will still be the same. Then we've got our winners bracket. That's best of 3. Losers bracket is still best of 1. Next week in the actual tournament, it will be best of 3 for losers bracket. Also, it's a double elimination tournament if you didn't pick that up. And then all we have left after today is obviously the finals, which are scheduled for Saturday the 14th, 1 week from today. And that will be at 5 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. Eastern. So something to keep in mind if you want to tune in. All things considered, though, we're getting ready to rock over here, so we're just going to wait on Bones. Do we have any updates on our players? Are they ready to go? And what tournament or what server are they playing?
It looks like they're going to play in Dallas. Okay. So let's see if we can find them in the server if they've started to look. But Solar and Xenaero is actually a really solid matchup.
For sure.
Xenaero, of course, I think has become quite a great commentator on your Twitch videos.
Xenaero's just
he's always a blast.
We're just lucky we're playing Doom today and not Tarkov, because he'd probably destroy us all in that. Good morning, Moose. Or afternoon, or whatever time it is for you. Texas Take the Crown qualifier? Is that the one? MDF, Texas Take the Crown?
It should be.
Let me make sure I read the password out loud. I like butts. That was made by Bones, obviously. It looks like Jahar and Ralphis are in here. So it's not going to be that one. What about...
There is a second one.
Looking for it. I'll refresh.
It's called Take the Crown Practice, but that's okay.
Oh, that would explain why I wasn't looking for it. Let's see. I see New York Ownage Take the Crown Practice. I see... Folks, this is a typical day working with Human Bones. Texas Take the Crown Practice. Alright, we're good to go. Looks like I'm the only one in here right now.
Yep, I will get the players into the same server.
Yes, sir. So how's everybody doing today? You guys ready to see some fucking Doom? This is going to be like some top level action. It's amazing to me that we're in week 4 of qualifiers. This is the last chance to qualify. Ralphis has not qualified yet. Neither has Devastation. J-Kiss is nowhere to be seen. He did not sign up, so I guess he's not going to be playing in this event. Whatever. But I'm just absolutely blown away by the competition that we've seen, considering that the people who we generally think of as like the top level players, some of them have not made it into the tournament yet. So we got an exciting day of action. It's going to be relatively short compared to the last 3 events. It's called Doom 2. Some people have heard of it. It's very popular in some circles, but obviously like no one really plays it. So you'll see. You'll see. If you like it, you'll like it. If you don't, you don't, Moose. So...
Yes, I don't think Moose is familiar with Doom 2.
I don't think Nationwide Moose is not someone that strikes me as someone who would ever have played Doom 2 in his life. I mean, he's kind of a nerd. A recluse, if you will. This is a game for definitely like high-level thinkers and people who take life seriously. You know, these are the Albert Einsteins of the esports world right here in good old Doom 2. But it's looking like we've got our competitors in here. Zen just showed up. I see you in here, but we are still waiting on Solar. But I am going to go ahead and get over to the action screen, assuming it works, and it does. And we're going to be picking their maps and everything momentarily, folks. But when they do, hopefully they play on this map. I really enjoy all of the maps in this tournament. Some really unique picks, especially Moo. Like, I can't believe the stuff that I saw, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago when last I was able to be here for the event. You're going to see a lot of interesting plays. Xenaero is going to be a guy who, I don't know, like, what's your pick between Xenaero and Solar? As a commentator.
Well, I mean, I think I have to go for Xenaero based on the fact that he has been playing for quite some time. Solar, as I've mentioned in previous streams, Solar is not a brand new player, but he definitely doesn't have as much dueling experience as Xenaero. I think the only thing that could hurt Xenaero is the fact that he is not an everyday player of Zandrona, which is a symptom that we found in a lot of players that have signed up for this tournament. So, you know, he's going to have to rely on his ability to, you know, draw from the experience that he has playing maps like King 1, Dweller, and, you know, Mu 2D, and then also his ability to adapt to the newer maps. So, you know, this is actually only the second qualifier that Zen has signed up for. And as he has self-proclaimed, he has done absolutely no practice. So, you know, it's going to be interesting, but sometimes players can go based off raw skills. I'm going to have to go with Zen on this one, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to 3 rounds and have Solar make a game out of it. Looks like they're going to start picking maps now.
I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to be Xenaero pretty much solely based on just in-game experience, but he is going to have to, like, not put too much stock in his netcode knowledge and his snap aim and just really get back to fundamentals. I'm thinking that's going to be the ticket to win. Map control, fundamental, challenging Doom play that, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure that we're going to necessarily see from Solar right off the get-go. But then again, I mean, he's performed very well in every event that he's played in so far. He just hasn't quite made it to that qualifier point. And with less people signed up today, we'll probably have some surprising names make it to the top. It's just a less of a vetting process before you get there.
Yeah, this is actually the lowest attended qualifier so far, with 14 players. But it's a solid 14 players. You know, it's not like some of the people that we saw in the first 2, where they weren't really established players and they were just trying to give it a shot. So now we're really down to the meat and potatoes players, the ones that are going to make it really hard for their opponents to win. And it looks like we've started banning here. CGI is the first map banned, followed by Dweller, and then Pyrrhic, and then IDA. And it looks like the first map we're going to start off with is Mu 2D. So that leaves us with Mu 2D. Yep. King 1's still out there, but for now, starting off on Mu 2D.
I'm going to watch Xenaero to begin with. And we're off.
Xenaero immediately.
Yeah, just running right in there with the frag.
Yep.
But
oh, Solar with a nice frag around the corner.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see Xenaero. Yeah. Play these quick circles and try to catch the teleporter, but he doesn't. And all of a sudden, Solar is gonna position himself in a really good spot. Already 1 up with frags and 2 up make that. Gotta get used to the Doom commentary where the speed of frags is faster than I can speak.
Yes, it's much faster than I can get a thought out too. Solar with a 2 frag lead, 3 frag lead here. He's making some really good shots right off the bat, but Xenaero anticipating him there.
We're gonna see if Xenaero can tighten it up and just slow down the gameplay, because it seems like, yeah, it seems like he's struggling with his aim maybe. As I said before we started here.
Well, I think it's going to take him... I don't think he did. I think it's going to take him a map or 2
yeah.
to get where he wants to be.
Solar now with 10.
And he's playing, yeah, he's playing
11.
super aggressive, but Solar's aim is really on point to start. Solar with a quick 5 frag lead.
Yeah.
He gets the BFG. That's the first time we've seen anyone with that. Let's see if he can use it here. Yeah, see, he's got Zen chasing him.
Xenaero should know better than that. He shouldn't be chasing. He should be trying to get, especially on Mu, like he should be trying to lure him back to him. You come to me. You come get your frags. You want to keep this lead. Just not doing a good job of baiting him. It's another thing that we've seen on this map throughout the tournament is players with, the more experience, generally speaking, will rely on sound cues and just have someone come to them over and over and over. It's like a Tai Chi technique. Xenaero's still struggling there. Very definitive leads so far now for Solar. And we're only, not even 3 minutes into the match. Nice.
That was just some nice rocket dodging from Zen. Still down by 10. I think this is the wrong map to be aggressive on. I think this map really lends itself to playing to the point where you want your opponent to come to you, and so if you're too aggressive, it doesn't really work out in your favor.
For sure.
And we're seeing that right now. That initial spawn frag miss was costly from Solar. Zen was able to rattle off 2 or 3 frags there.
10 frag difference is basically a 1 frag difference. It's not that big a deal. Xenaero can still tighten up, and he's got plenty of time to do it. But we're going to have to see if these guys are aware of that. We've seen that plenty throughout the tournament so far, where people are afraid to play with the clock or possibly even not aware that they're playing against a clock. They can really use it to their advantage. But Solar is just about halfway to a victory at this point.
Yeah, I suspect we'll see more clock management in the actual finals bracket.
Yeah.
But so far in these qualifiers, not really a factor. We've seen some super aggressive play. Zen almost gets the spawn frag there. But, he's being aggressive right now. He has 95 health, but Solar's low. Solar manages to get some splash damage, but Zen gets the frag. Still down by 10.
Go over
9.
Solar's POV now. Yeah, that's a solid 10 frag difference. He's maintained the gap for more than a minute now. Solar doing the smart. Solar is actually playing this map, I think, the way it's meant to be played. Trying to stay quiet. Granted, that didn't work out for him just that moment, but staying low.
Yeah.
Playing slow.
And you can see that Zen has had a lot of chances to make some spawn frag kills or just, some frags where he should have been able to kill Solar in one shot. And his shots just aren't landing right now. And I think that's contributed to the lead. He's having a really hard time trying to make a comeback. But, he's managed to keep it at 10 frags, so there is still a chance for him.
Yeah, he's not letting him run away with it necessarily. It's just that he did too early. Like, way early in the game, he let him get 10 frags ahead of him. Now he's just got to make up for all that lost time. Can he do it? We'll find out.
Man, and Solar doing a really good job of anticipating Zen. And, Zen's trying to outsmart him a little bit. And Solar's just right there with him. See, that right there, Zen should have had that spawn frag. I mean, he doesn't get any damage from Solar, but it's stuff like that that's really hurting him.
It really seems like Xenaero's, he's doing a lot of things right. It's just he's depending on, okay, I can snap over here and aim, do a 180, aim, and he's maybe just not used to playing in Xandrona, as we've said many times. Because Xenaero infamously is an Odomex supporter. Very much so. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that's what he plays, and he's very serious about it. Generally doesn't have a lot of practice in these other source sports.
Well, he did start off largely playing Xandrona's predecessor, Skulltag. But yeah, it's been a while. Sort of. You know, we saw him cut it to 6 there, but now it's right up back to 9. So you're right. A 10 frag difference is more like a 1 frag difference, but Zen's really gotta change what he's doing. Maybe slow it down a little bit here for these last couple frags, because he's got it at 7. Well, he can't really get a handle on Solar right now. I feel like he's tried a couple different things here, and it just hasn't worked out. And Solar's just got this ridiculous shot right now. There we go. Rattle off a couple.
Xenaero's slowly ticking away, but at 48 frags, it looks like Solar's going to have this map, unless something absolutely crazy happens. 1 frag to go.
Well, and you're right. I think Zen's doing a lot of things right, because he's doing what I would do, but Solar will just come out of the shadows and take 1 shot at him, and it's like just an amazing frag. Let's see. Up 6 frags.
And
oh,
let's
man.
see how this turns out. 1 more shot to go, but Xenaero hanging in there by the skin of his teeth. 45-49. All we need to see is Solar get 1 frag in. He's doing a lot of damage, but can't get the long-range double barrel to work for him.
Wow.
47-49, Xenaero. And there you have it, folks.
Well, like I said,
oh yeah,
super professional, very well done shots, and he's just got to continue that momentum into the next map.
That's gonna
which
be...
I think we're left with either King 1 or let's see, what's the other map we've got left? Sask. No, they did CGI. Looks like we're going King 1.
Interesting.
I think Zen is a big fan of King 1. So this should be a map where he can make a comeback here. Although right away
caters towards his aggressive playstyle too.
Yeah. And right away Solar sneaks up behind him and gets that first frag, goes out, jumps out to a 2 frag lead, 3 frag lead, manages to get the BFG. Let's see if Zen can take him down. There we go. But Solar just making some really good shots. Some bad spawns there. Zen ties it up at 4.
Very nice shot there from Xenaero, though.
Yeah, he's got to manage to avoid these BFG shots. I couldn't get away.
All tied up. Let's get back over to Solar here on the stream so we can see the beautiful technique that he's using with this BFG.
Yeah, and that was the same shot he got twice off Zen. So I don't think it'll happen a 3rd time.
Zen doing a really good job
that was really bad luck.
The low ground here, and that's something that you can really exploit. Because a lot of times when you're standing up on top of these ledges, you can't actually see what's below you until you get right on the edge there. Your opponent may already have you scouted, and vice versa.
Solar had some bad luck there. He shot a rocket, and he got killed, but then it gave him, 97 damage when he spawned because it hit him.
Luck is for losers.
I don't think Zen feels that way.
All skill, no cheap thrills. That's what we want to see here, folks.
Ooh.
This is still a very close match. Like, Xenaero barely hanging on to the lead thus far. He's trying to get
but I don't think he had a lead at all in Mu, so this is a good start for him. He just needs to adjust his playstyle, I think. Maybe he's starting to learn what makes Solar tick. I'm not sure. But he's stringing off some good shots here.
Zolar's doing himself a disservice, I think, playing so much with the rockets on the high ground. There's too many columns standing in his way, and it's just not favoring him at all. It's giving away his location.
Yeah, I mean, rockets on this map are tough because there's hardly ever a time where 2 players are on the same level, and you can't always rely on auto aim. It's not always your best friend. So I think rockets is probably, you're right, not the ideal weapon to use here. It's a little bit of a Wild West battle there, just taking pot shots at each other. Oh man, Zen was so close with that rocket, but he gets the double kill.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Ha! You owe me a Coke.
Twice.
Man, it's unfortunate, but I'm not sure.
The spawns here are just killer.
I'm not really sure how you play against what Xenaero's doing here. Like, Solar continues to, like, not pick the winning strategy, I think, and standing on this high ground.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with where he's spawning, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, see right here, I mean, right here, I would have jumped down, probably. Even if he had the BFG, I would have gone maybe where he is now, but...
Back to Xenaero's point of view here, folks. Some nice BFG damage there. Only a 5 frag lead, anything could still happen. 4 minutes in. Xenaero needs to keep in mind he's singing for his supper here, so every single frag counts. He doesn't need to... If I were him, I would focus a lot more on not getting frag than I am on fragging right now.
Xenaero with a strong 8 frag lead here as we 7 frags, but we're over the halfway mark.
Xenaero's playing the quiet game.
Yep.
Very smart.
Well, especially when someone, you know, you hear 5 or 6 BFG shots get rattled off. I'm not coming out into the open.
Some big plasma damage there. The rocket's not quite doing the job.
Ooh.
Solar has got seemingly endless ammo there for a second. Oh, Xenaero's trying to try to close that gap, but he was scouted.
And Solar's been low for a couple frags, but Zen has not been able to kill him.
Zen is trying to use the rockets, and it's just not playing out in his favor. Yeah.
I mean, Solar has had the same health for about 5 frags.
It is what it
And
is.
he's been able to catch up there. Yeah.
Very nice spawn frags here from Xenaero. Only a 2 frag lead, though. This is really the time for Xenaero to string something together. Pull it out of his ass. See what he can do. Oh, and a rocket to the face is not what I was talking about. But that frag, that refrag was very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at this map like a little bit more of a wide open Judas 23. I mean, I think it's better for the player to stay on the low ground because most of the spawns are up high. So you're at an advantage when someone spawns. You're able to... Oh, and Solar kills himself there. But you're able to get some shots off a little bit quicker. And you have more room to hide when you're lower because, like you said, the players up top cannot see you.
A lot of the time, players have that habit of pushing the go button as soon as they spawn, not knowing where they're spawning at. And if they run off that cliff, you can catch them pretty quickly, and they're not going to see you before you see them, if you're doing it right. Good chain gun damage here, and it actually pays off for him, but still the lead gets ever better for Xenaero, who looks like he'll be taking this match. 44-33 now. 7 minutes of gameplay.
That was some good baiting there by Solar. Zen wasn't really sure where he was.
Yeah,
Solar took a shot.
Master baiter.
Yeah. Yep, it's crunch time now. We got 4 frags left. Solar, his best shot is probably to grab the BFG and hope for 3 or 4 frags with that. And just to start catching Zen in some vulnerable situations. But Zen's going to be aggressive.
An excellent amount of damage with his chain gun. But
Solar decides to kill himself there instead of giving Xenaero another frag.
I don't think that was a
So he keeps... I think it was. I think because I've seen him do it like right there where he spawns.
Let's get over to his POV.
So he spawns in that little, trap rocket alcove, and as soon as he does that, he turns around and kills himself. Because I think the logic is, well, if I'm going to be down by 10 frags anyway, I may as well just kill myself so Zen doesn't get a frag. But
He got hit
we're down to
with
the
a
final frag here. Oh my god, what a nice rocket!
Post-mortem BFG is what put him down at the end of that fight.
Really nice rocket from Solar, but it seems like it's just a little too late to catch up here.
And that will
Zen takes that one. Yep. So now we go to the tiebreaker, which... Oh, it's Uptight DM. Uptight DM will be the tiebreaker.
Very nice. Let's see what these guys can do. It looks like DevastatioN is sitting in here with us, trying to get an eyeball on who his opponent's going to be, as the winner of this will go on to face the man that met the legend himself.
All right. Tiebreaker match.
This is the rubber match, folks.
This has been a tough map for players to adjust to, I think, as Solar gets 2 frags right off the bat.
If I were them, I'd be scared. I'd try to lose this map so I don't have to face Devastation.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some logic in that, but then you also have to remember... I mean, seriously, but then you also have to remember how hard of a road it is to make it through the loser's bracket.
For sure.
You can't really have a bad game, so...
I wonder if there's
I mean, in a tournament... You wonder... Go ahead.
No, I wonder if there's any strategy to be had. Like, if you were looking at the bracket and you're doing your math, hedging your bets, would it be better to face the loser's bracket now or to face it after Devastation? Like, what would be... There's got to be a chess match to be played there, I'm sure. And if there's any person who could figure that out, I bet it's Devastation. It's a quick algorithm.
Nice chess reference. I think it might actually be not in anyone's favor to go into the loser's bracket in this one, only because you're not going to get any easy matchups.
Right.
So if you're going to go against Dev, you may as well go against him now. If you're going to lose, then you can say, okay, well, this is what Dev did. So now if you have to go up against him again, then you'll have, a little bit of homework done, and you'll be able to figure out what he's doing. But right now, it just looks like Zen is kind of chasing Solar around, trying to figure out where he is. And
Solar exposed, caught him exposed there, and it seems like Xenaero maybe doesn't know the map. He's trying to get the feel for it, right? Or I'm not quite certain, but the way he's moving around and just like looking at things, trying to peek in, what's over here, what's over there, makes me question it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Most of the time, I'm wrong. But this is not a good spot to be in.
No, but as long as he doesn't let it balloon to 10 frags, I think he'll be okay.
Clock
he's
keeps on
slowly approaching. I know. He's just got to make some of these shots, and he has to stop himself from getting frustrated. You can't get frustrated in a situation like this. You just got to keep plugging away. So right now he's down by 8, but he's got some chances. He's had some chances so far. Nice shotgun frag there. Can't seal the deal on that one. Solar with some really nice shotgun play. Just like that, Zen cuts it to 5, but now we're at 6. So now it seems like Solar's playing a little bit scared.
outmaneuvered Xenaero there for sure. It's like
Yeah.
he kept hopping across the different platforms, and Xenaero just couldn't quite figure out where he was gonna be. When Zen finally got an eye on it, was too late. Solar was on the ground with his gun right on his head. It's not unreasonable. I think Xenaero can pull this together if he really just puts his mind to it, buckles down, and commits to his strategy. But he's gonna just going around a lot. It's not working out. So that aggressive play, chasing up the staircase, unwise in my opinion. Same there.
Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of strategy. He's just kind of playing tag almost. He's just chasing Solar around instead of saying, okay, well, here's how I'm playing. Let's see what you can do, adjust to that. He's just kind of like, oh, Solar's over here. Let me go find him. Now he's getting some spawn frags. Yeah. But at the end of the day, what's going to put you ahead? It's not going to be just some spawn frag. It's got to be some strategy. So, as we are halfway through, he's only down by 5, so he has a chance. And if he doesn't know the map as well as we thought he did, he's got some experience now. See, like right there. I think previously, but I think previously he would have followed Solar, and instead he was like, okay, I'm going to go around the other way and try and cut him off. So, let's see. It looks like he's starting to adjust. Down by 4.
He's closing in on him for sure. Yeah, four frag difference now. We're going to go over to Solar's point of view and see him play defense for a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely switched over to that.
Very
Solar had complete control over the map.
Some really solid aim we've seen out of Solar this entire time. Just putting the beat right on the money. And I think that's been, other than his general strategy, I believe that his aim has really done him a lot of favors thus far. Not quite.
It has. He's played incredibly well. But look, Zen slowly closing the gap here. Only down by 2 now.
3.
And he's definitely adjusted his strategy.
There we go.
You see, now he's got Solar on the run. Solar is...
But this is where that experience comes into play. Like, maybe he starts off with the wrong strategy, and mid-game, the ability to change up what you're doing mid-game is usually the winning factor.
And you wouldn't have seen this before. You wouldn't have seen Solar just sitting there, hanging out, waiting. So Zen has definitely affected Solar's mindset. And so now we just got to see if he can close it, if he can take the lead here late in the match.
Xenaero with the Jedi mind tricks.
But like you said, what do you do? Like, do you go into the losers bracket or do you play Dev? Like, I'm not sure that there's
I think you're right. I think you spend as little time in the losers bracket as possible, which means winning this match, facing Dev. And if you lose to Dev or win to Dev, I mean, that's also a possibility. We don't know. We're just hedging our bets here.
It's better to have 3 chances to win than 1, I think.
The goal today is to come in the top 4. It's not to win the day. Like, that's icing on the cake. And it will play off in your favor, but if you're really just trying to make it, I'd say that your best option is to spend as little time in the losers bracket as humanly possible.
And Zen is close here to cutting it to 1 frag. There you go, 1 frag lead. Oh. It is now a tie game. And that was some really hard work from Zen to make that happen. Zen takes the lead. This is going to be a really close last couple frags here. But you can totally tell Xenaero.
Action here. Watch this.
Yeah. Zen completely changed the way this game was being played. Although he gets surprised by Solar.
That's 2.
Yeah.
And only 4 frags to go for Solar. Can Xenaero really capitalize on this? He's come off the platform, so he's actually removed himself from the situation. The teleporter game will be played. And through the window, ties it back up. That's a refrag from Solar. 2 to go for Solar now. Can Xenaero
Zen
capitalize?
is not giving up.
Such a close match. Tied up, 2 to go.
Zen.
1 frag for Solar. Can he get this shotgun off?
Zen narrowly escapes, and he knows Zen is... Well, Zen has more health than Solar, but, we've seen Solar make some crazy shots here, so Zen's... Okay, 49-49.
This is it. This is where we find out, folks.
Oh,
And is that? Oh my
oh
God!
man.
How insulting! What a great
Zen
match though. See
so
back and
close to
forth.
having that comeback there. That
Well,
was a great comeback, but Solar was able to hold on to that lead, and he advances to face Devastation. Xenaero's got to feel good about that, though. I mean, he's got good about the way that last map ended.
so well played though on both guys' parts. Like especially like right there at the end, it couldn't have been any closer. Splitting hairs at that point. Alrighty. So
All right,
we're gonna be
let's
updating some
take a
things
look.
now. We're gonna have Solar versus Devastation.
Looks like the other two matches that are going on are still in progress, being streamed.
So are we allowed to move on, or do we have to bide time? Like, am I gonna have to do my little monkey dance, or what's the plan here?
Well, I think we could move on as soon as we post the results. Let's see.
Right on. I've got everything on my end set up and ready to go, so it's just a matter of what server we're going to.
Give me
I'm
one moment.
assuming Solar. You said Solar's West Coast. Where's he at?
Solar is Mexico,
So they're
so
gonna play on Texas, probably, or
yeah,
no?
they're gonna play East Canada and Mexico's Dallas.
Yeah. So probably right here. Probably won't have to go anywhere.
Let me update the match results. One moment.
No worries. We got this interesting blend of like dark ambient music going on while simultaneously the Doom music is still playing in this map. I'm gonna go ahead and exit and wait for your cue on where to join and where to go. Chat, how we doing? Remember, if you're out there watching right now and you're passionate about Doom, I highly recommend, not just for my sake, but go out there and share the fact that this tournament is happening. Again, our grand finals are scheduled for next week, 1 week from today, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to doomfederation.com to get all the details and just spread your love of Doom. This is a $1,500 tournament. We haven't seen anything quite at this level of gameplay in a very long time, and I want to thank the guys over at the Multiplayer Doom Federation. I want to thank King Dime and Jahar and everyone who's been involved in like planning, playing in, making this thing happen, because this is a huge chance for the Doom community to really come together, just to hang out and spend time together first of all, but see some of the best competition we could possibly see, and most importantly to have fun. And I can't tell you how much this means to me personally. So please go out there, share this thing. Don't be afraid. Go on your social media, whatever it is, and tweet the shit out of this. Like retweet if you see it out there. Share the stream. Whatever you got to do. Like not just my stream, but also King Dime and Jahar are both streaming right now. They probably have another game going on, so feel free to switch back and forth between the three streams, because we're all going to be putting on tournaments, putting on our broadcasting matches. Jesus Christ, we're all going to be broadcasting the matches all day for this tournament, and also the same will apply next week. So, and also check them out on YouTube. We have the qualifiers for each day in a playlist on YouTube, which I can share after the event on our Twitter or something if anybody wants to see that too. Good stuff. Also, I do a podcast, In the Keep podcast. We have a new episode coming out Tuesday. I believe that will be with what is this one? Fred Schreiber from 3D Realms, Vice President of 3D Realms. So it should be a whole lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. What have we got? see what's going on in server. Looks like we're gonna still be in the same server. Any word back from Devastation? Seems like Solar maybe needed to take a break.
Yeah, slightly. Let's see.
Looking over at the participant channel. Thank you for the follow, Steve. Greatly appreciated.
Yep. Solar and Dev are going to take place on the same server that we just watched, Solar and Xenaero.
Get right back to it. Looks like they're going to have a little practice with Rude, so we'll watch a bit of that while we wait. I'm gonna, since we're waiting on Devastation to play, I think we should probably spectate him. Well, this is probably the most boring warm-up I've ever seen, Dev. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Safer has connected. I guess he's going to be spectating here too. Now let's take a look over at the bracket. By the way, it's just ! bracket for anybody who wants to see it. Just enter that in chat. You can see this bad boy going on. But we've got this match, Devastation versus Xenaero, and then the winner of that will face... We still don't have a turn-in on Ty and Propane and Unknown and SlowSheep, but one of those four will face the winner of the... Oh, do you? Okay. Just waiting on...
Yeah, just refreshed.
There we
Ty,
go. Ty and SlowSheep.
The next matchup is Ty and SlowSheep. Yep.
All right, and then looks like Legion's actually progressing as well, and then Rude and Dastan is going on currently. Cool. Yeah, this is really shaping up, man. This is like a... I like that this is a shorter day, just because we can. It's easier to keep track of everything going on.
Yes, it certainly is. Let's see. They are starting to heads or tails now. Well, obviously, you know, we can say what we want about Devastation.
Ooh, Dev doesn't want me to do
he has played in, this is his third qualifier. He has failed to qualify in number 1 and number 3. He came close last week, placing in 5th. So he, you know, obviously with this is his last opportunity to qualify. He's really looking to make it into that top 4. So he has been practicing his ass off. And from what I hear, he's doing quite well. So let's see if he can make it, because we know what Dev can bring and what Dev brings to the table. And we saw Solar get, you know, a little bit of confidence there with that last frag win over Xenaero with 10 health left. So, you know, he's going to be coming into this game riding high. This is Dev's first match. Maybe the nerves will set in for Dev, but you know, I expect Dev to take this and move on.
I'm kind of willing to go out there and be like, if Dev doesn't qualify today, I'm gonna do something crazy. Like, what do you guys want to see? Like, what do I have to do to like show how much faith I have in this? Because I would be devastated, no pun intended, if Devastation doesn't get into this finals bracket.
It would definitely be shocking. I mean,
it's
he
been shocking.
says it's not shocking because he doesn't play Xandron very often, but you know, skills like that can transfer over.
Saskatchewan
So
is gone, and Mutu have both been banned. Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Well, you don't want Devastation. You know, he doesn't want to play in his home country of Canada, obviously. So fuck Saskatchewan. And there's too many cows there, so get rid of Moo. It looks like they've picked Idea, and we're waiting on a second pick now. King. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Let's rock and roll, folks. We're going to start off following Solar, since I'm going to make an executive decision and call him the underdog for this match, but you never know. You never know. Right off the bat, gets the frag, pushing Devastation right on in, and Devastation gets a quick refrag. The music in this map absolutely drives me insane. I can't believe I forgot to turn it off before we jumped in here. Really
That's the beauty of having my microphone and my headset, is I can't hear a damn thing except you talking.
That sounds terrible. I wouldn't want that. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Well, just imagine how I feel. Well, we saw that first frag from Solar, but since then, Dev rattled off 4 in a row. Solar makes it a little closer. It's 4-3 now.
Solar's just got some punchy aim today, man. It's just really going in his favor.
He does.
Feeling good, confident off that win over Xenaero. I don't want to in any way doubt this guy. He's done nothing but impress me the entire tournament. He just hasn't quite made it to that top level. And going toe-to-toe with Devastation thus far is like... To start off a match with the first frag on Devastation must be a huge ego boost. And sometimes it's Devastation's been feeling down, you know? He's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to qualify for this tournament and all this kind of thing. It might be a psychological game at this point.
I think sometimes it is for him. I think he gets kind of bogged down in the psychological part of it. You know, he was really worried during QuakeCon that he wasn't going to do very well, and then the guy ends up winning all 3 tournaments. So, you know, he's just got to work his way out of that kind of sullen, like, woe is me thing.
He's been down and out before. He can come back from this.
Absolutely, yeah. But so far, Solar keeping up with him. And I would love to see somebody like Solar actually qualify for the finals bracket. He is someone that is overlooked quite a bit.
Well, he deserves
but
to
so far today,
like, especially
so far today, he's proven us wrong.
Relatively newer player. We need fresh meat in the game. That's what people kind of neglect to talk about. That we would talk about the J-Kiss, the Animals, the Devastations. We talk about the Ralphises. We don't always talk about the new guys on the scene, and I'm really glad to see that happening. Solar is one of them. He's done nothing but impress me.
Yeah, well, you know, Solar's been around in the CTF leagues for a couple years now, but you know, he's kind of been relegated to that 4th player on a 3-player team. So you know, it's been difficult for him to show and grow his skills. And you know, we seem to be entering a period of time now where Solar is actually considered, you know, a top player to have on your team. So he's definitely shown some improvement. You know, I'm sure he probably wouldn't have wanted to go up against Dev this early, but you know, it could be a good thing for him if he makes it out of this matchup with a win. Obviously, that's certainly like totally unexpected for him. But even if he doesn't win and he goes down to the losers bracket, he's got that experience of having faced Dev, and he's like, okay, well, I played the best, so this should be a cakewalk for me.
$21-12. Some of us are huge Rush fans and recognize that as significant.
Yes. Rush was one of the best concerts I ever saw in my life.
You saw Rush Limbaugh live? That's amazing.
Yeah, I was at the State of the Union.
All right, Devastation's starting to run away with it a little bit. 9 frag difference here.
And this map is really difficult. It reminds me a lot of King 1, where bad spawns and it's really difficult to come back from. It's really they're just not advantageous spawns sometimes.
It's a pretty dynamic map, and it's not a like this is the one route to victory sort of gameplay strategy. You can really exploit the single barrel shotgun and just keep yourself far away from your opponent if you want to. Devastation leaning towards kind of rushing in there, and he didn't pay off for him in either of those 2 scenarios.
Yeah, and something that I really have talked about every time we've seen this map get played is the back hallways, which remind me of Doom 2 Map 1 or Duengo 5 Map 1.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I haven't seen it used as much as I thought I would, because you can easily... I think the hallways are some of the most fun strategies that you see, the hallway strategies in those 2 maps. So I thought it would translate here, and I thought it would kind of play into some really cool mind games from people, but so far it's been mostly centralized on the outdoor area. Solar gets gets a couple BFG shots and then gets that spawn frag suicide kill with the rocket there. But yeah, it's been mostly wide open fragging here.
Solar's ability to exploit the single barrel shotgun, especially on a map like this where he's got a little bit of distance, is absolutely mind-blowing. It's very crisp and skillful, and he's just running away with him right now.
And you know what I've noticed too is his reflexes are off the charts. I mean, someone spawns right in front of him. His ability to adapt to what's right in front of him, split second.
Do we know how old he is?
Really strong. I don't know how old he is.
I don't know. I would blame it on that young man strength, but you never know, man. He could be like 80 years old. I don't know him, so I can't say.
I would say he's probably, mid to late 20s. Could be wrong. As he faces off against Old Man Dev.
Old Man Dev.
He's gonna slap me after this.
Alright, we're gonna switch over to Devastation's point of view after that frag and try to see him keep his lead. He's gotta stay at the top of this mountain, but it is cold and lonely up here. People are always trying to take it away from you, and Solar's doing everything in his power to do so. Just continually seeing Solar close these gaps. Now, he's like actually switched up his strategy from the beginning, where he was playing the long game, and Solar is being much more aggressive, trying to make up for this frag difference now. Definitely don't want to hang around when Devastation's got his double barrel pointed at you, though.
No. And this is reminds me a lot of the game Solar had versus Xenaero, where Solar took that quick 10 frag lead, and then it was basically just a back and forth after that.
Yeah.
This is kind of what's happened now. What's happening now is that Dev has taken that 10 frag lead, really not able to expand much farther than that, and Solar's had his chances to get some spawn frags and get within like 6, but he's not able to get it any closer, and Dev's not able to get it any further than 10, so it really is a back and forth game right now.
We're seeing Dev, you can actually, if you're really paying attention, you can tell Dev is responding to his audio cues here. It's like he's moving around the map in such a way that when he gets a frag, he's listening. He stops almost completely and then listens for the where the respawn is going to take place. Solar seems to already know where it's happening, and I think that has generally been his ability to like kind of keep up.
Definitely. And as we approach the last 4 frags here, Dev brings out the big guns using that BFG.
The big fucking guns.
Yes, it's true.
But we're coming up on the final frags here, and I don't see Solar necessarily making up for this, but we'll see what happens over on map 2.
Exactly. We saw this. So Dev takes it 50-39. That get picked, and if there are maps that are stronger for Dev versus stronger for Solar, it's just going to depend on the maps that get picked.
Oh, faux shizzle, my nizzle.
Yeah, well, we saw Mu2D get eliminated, I believe.
Yeah, Dev immediately
won't be
banned
seeing-
Mu2Ds
Yeah.
right off the bat. Like, fuck, we're not playing that.
And that was Solar's strongest match
Yeah.
against Xenaero. So here we go. This is where Solar had some struggles last round, but I believe in some of the other qualifiers, this map was also a difficult one for Dev.
We're going to start off following Devastation. I think this map is going to be much easier for Devastation, just knowing his playstyle.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I
Dev
say
gets
that
taken
right
out
as he
by
gets to eat one.
Rogue BFG shot, you know?
The big friendly gun. That's what that is. It's just a little love
Yes.
tap you get off of that thing. Very nice
big fragging
rockets
gun.
from Solar here. Push Devastation and keep him wondering.
That's about the only situation where I'd say rockets are useful on this map.
You see Devastation just look at a rocket and move around it like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
Or was that movie with Angelina Jolie, the Wanted or something, with the bullet there?
Oh yeah, he
Curving bullets, yeah.
curved the bullet midair. Wanted. That's the name of it.
Terrible movie, but cool idea.
Great comic book. Highly overlooked that is a comic book movie, and a fantastic comic book. Just didn't translate into movie form quite as well as it wanted. But that's not what's important here. What's important is we have a tied game between Solar and Devastation. Now, as I say that,
Solar takes the lead.
yeah,
Wow, nice rocket play from there.
huge,
There
big,
from
big
Dev.
confidence here. Just, aha, back and forth,
Ha.
back and forth.
Yep.
And we're seeing Devastation do the right thing, though. Stay in the low ground, play the middle map, listen for the respawn, catch him jumping off. And I think Solar may get a little too big for his britches if he keeps playing like that. He's going to get punished for it. Oh, and didn't hear quite where the teleporter went off, I guess, for Devastation. Or maybe he just wasn't able to quite make the turn. Yeah, the big fun gun. That's what we're going to call the BFG. I like that. Thank you, Steve. Nice.
Yeah,
Solar.
and I think the story of the day so far is Solar's aim. And it's not that other people are not having a great day so far, but I mean, I think when you consider, just the name Devastation or the name Xenaero, like look at that, Solar just waiting there, and yeah, you can wait there all you want. Like you can have the advantage on somebody that you think you're going to have, but you still have to make the shot.
And no
And
matter
I think
what
that's what's surprising me the most is that Solar's hitting every shot that he takes.
no matter
That counts.
what the outcome is today, like Solar is taking leads and going toe to toe with people who we consider legends, and that in itself is a victory. And this is only the second part of the bracket thus far. Like he's still got a long way to go in this tournament. He could come right back up from the losers bracket. Anything could happen. We're not even counting him out. He might win this and then win the next map. Possibilities are endless for this guy. We're gonna go over to Solar's POV. You're playing the high ground.
And the importance of this map, or this match, is that the winner of this goes into the semifinal, and then they only have one game to play to actually qualify. So it's an important match, I think, and I don't. Solar is not letting that opportunity pass him. Keeping it all tied up with Dev here, 2020, 21-20 now.
Dev 2020, is that what you said? I'd vote for him. He's not even
Hey,
American.
man. I'm not sure how many other options we have right now.
You're our first ever Nova Scotian president.
Yes, I continue to mention this on every stream, but Devastation's favorite food is this thing called a donair, which originates in Nova Scotia. So I feel like that would be our new national food, our new national emblem, a donair. It's like a gyro, basically. Gyro, however you want to say it.
Don't. Shut up, dude. Stop talking.
Hey, listen. People pronounce it differently.
Hey,
okay?
listen.
It's
What are
been
you,
a lot of
Navi? Jesus.
time. No.
Very
Some good
nice
BFG
BFG
shots.
play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devastation with a 4 frag lead. Can he keep it up?
Solar's got to make those shots, man.
Oh, Devastation, very smart. Not gonna fall for Solar's little plan there with it. You know, he's trying to exploit the sound cues and move around him, but Devastation just able to keep it on fire. Unfortunately, he ate all of that buckshot there.
Yep, but it's still only a 5 frag game.
And we still got a
So
while
it's closer
to go.
than that. We do.
But every time we see somebody get to that 40 mark, it starts to become harder and harder to think about. Like the spread matters more and more the closer you get to 50. And once you get to 50, the spread doesn't matter. It just matters who gets there first.
Yes. The goal of the game is to score the most points.
Huh. Well, no, it's to score 50 points.
Which would be the most in this situation?
Agree to disagree. I think we're saying the same thing.
Well, I'm not sure that we're saying anything at all, but we could be saying the same thing.
41 now,
4 frag
Devastation.
difference. Yeah. Ah, Solar just cutting into that. 3 frags.
Oh, nice. BFG there. Good point blank shotgun from Solar and a
Wow.
ties it up.
Wow.
Here we go. Devastation gave his location away with that rocket, and he's standing in the worst possible place to be, getting cornered. Didn't seem like he had an exit strategy, and all of a sudden Solar is in the lead.
Solar there at all. Solar, oh my goodness, how
With
many frags did he just rack
by a
off?
margin.
I mean, almost 10. 8 actually, 8 in a row, pretty much here.
Alright, looks like Devastation's slowing it down. He's going to try to reconsider his strategy. He came in with a nice clip shotgun.
Yeah, that was risky for him because he only had 15 health, so
He knows what he's doing.
he does.
Gonna
Although he's having some trouble with the BFG here.
go
Solar
back
had a
over
chance, probably.
to Devastation's point of view now. See what he can string together. The free frag difference, and all of a sudden Solar at 48.
Solar,
It is not
2
looking
frags
good.
away. 1 frag
Back
left.
Solar. And Devastation sneaks up on him.
If there's anyone that can do it, it's Dev. We saw this happen with Xenaero, but
Solar
there you go.
wins.
Solar takes it.
Using that solar energy to get the advantage, man. You just can't beat that stuff. And 1-1 now, maps-wise, Solar and Devastation. So we're going to go to a rubber match, and gosh, I really didn't expect this. I'm absolutely psyched to see how this goes.
Well, like I said previously, Solar is really setting this stream on fire with his ability to make these crazy shots. And I have to fix the spectator settings here. Give me a second.
Thanks to everybody tuning in to the stream right now. Make sure you're sharing this and tell everybody what's going on. We also have King Dime and Tasty Spleen TV streaming the event as well. So feel free to switch back and forth and see which matches you're most interested in. Let everybody know, hey, this is going on here, this is going on there. Right now we're just moving to the rubber match with Solar and Devastation. They're 1-1 maps-wise in a best of 3. So it's going to be really fun. Stay tuned. Alright, I think Devastation's mad now. We're going to see a whole lot of BFG, not necessarily BFG fights, but fights for the BFG. Feeling like that's going to be the deciding factor. Right off the bat, Solar with a nice flick aim. The shotgun tied up, and Devastation gets the armor. That's going to play into this fight here. Nice shot from Devastation. Very solid. Right on the money. You do not want to be caught up on that high ground if someone can see you and you can't see them. It's never a good position to be in. Unfortunately, Solar is able to tie it right back up. Devastation not going to take no for an answer. Such a close game from the get-go. 45 seconds in, we're already starting to see these guys go toe-to-toe. This might be one of those matches where no one's able to establish a lead, and as I say that, Solar does. Devastation right back with some spawn frags. Can he finish him off here? Yes, he can. These ledges here with the staircases are very interesting because you're watching your opponent. They can come out from basically 3 different ways. And you're essentially trapped up there, though, if your opponent can get some distance back and just watch all 3 ways. And assuming that they have the appropriate, response to your action. If they have that reflex that we're looking for, and I think that's going to favor Solar throughout the match. But Devastation, again, no chump. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play. He knows how to string together some spawn frags, and he's just running away with it at this point. Solar seems like he's struggling to get a weapon on some of these spawns thus far, and that's not going to be in any way favorable towards him. And surprisingly, no one's gone for the BFG yet, which was initially my first thought about this map. Go over to Solar's POV here. He's very low on health. Doesn't want to get caught with his pants down. He goes through the teleporter to try to escape with his respawn. It is not at all bad getting the spawn frags on Devastation now. Can he swing the momentum around? Not the right weapon to have in this scenario. Devastation's going to be able to finish him off. And surprisingly doing a whole lot of damage with that machine gun. If he can get this shotgun to play into his favor, he couldn't. Right on the money with these respawns over and over and again. These guys are closing the gaps. Every time there's a respawn, it's like they're already there waiting for you to go ahead, respawn, good, do it, and the action never stops. But Devastation running away with it now with an 11 frag lead, and we're only 3.5 minutes in. Well beyond the halfway mark at this point. Of course, the gameplay can always change pace. Solar just not able to get in there and get able to face off with Dev. He does manage to fight his way out of that predicament. Can he keep moving? 12 frag difference. Devastation slowly but surely dragging it out.
Yeah, Dev is in complete control of this one.
Yeah. Circling him like a shark. And Solar, for the first time, I think, the entire day, just missed a shot completely. He had everything. He had Dev spin in the opposite direction, not even looking at him, snuck right up on him and missed the shot. It's clear that the nerves are starting to get to him. And I would be nervous too. No, not an insult. The pressure is very much on now.
But whatever happens, both players have played a great game. And I am happy to continue following Solar and potentially his redemption tour if he can't take this one from Dev, which, it's looking kind of close to the end here for Dev to take this one and move on. But we saw in King 1, Solar strung together 8 frags in a row and was able to pretty much tie up the game and then slowly take the lead. So I'm not going to rule anything out.
46 now. It's going to be real tough for Solar to do anything to redeem this match. Devastation looking like he's going to move on to the semifinals.
As long as he doesn't lag there. Well, there you go. I mean, Solar made quite a game out of it. But Dev takes that one 2-1, and he moves on. So now Dev is, much like last week, you know, he's only one game away from buying. He's just got to be able to finish it, you know?
For sure. All right. So what do we got coming up next? Are we going to follow into the losers bracket, or are we going to see what goes on with this next little doodah here? Have we got a definitive on Ty versus SlowSheep? Not seeing it in the bracket yet. Legion and Ralphis just hopped in. We want to follow them. And Steve, we're wishing you luck too as you progress through the tournament. I'm not sure seeing the bracket update currently. I'm not sure how you're doing, but of course, best of luck. Whatever the case, thank you for playing nonetheless.
All right, well, it looks like we're just going to pick up here.
With Ralphis and Legion?
With Ralphis and Legion.
Hell yeah. Two of my favorite players. Can't wait to watch this happen. Well, let's pop on over. Right after I update this overlay, actually. Ralph. Every time I hear the name Ralph, I just think of the kid on The Simpsons, like the nerdy kid in Lisa's class. All right, good to go on that front. Thank you everybody for being patient, and we're going to get back to the action. Well, hell yeah, dude. We're just glad to see you being competitive. That's the way you improve, is by getting into these competitions. And like, this is just an absolute treat. Everything, like, the not giving anybody credit, but Human Bones and the Multiplayer Doom Federation, everybody involved has just been incredible. And putting on this event absolutely is continued week by week to blow my mind. But, you know, we'll be right back next week with more action, and $1,500 will go to the winner, folks. I don't know. Doom has never been quite so exciting. In my time. I'm sure it's been more exciting back in the day. But, I don't know. Even then, we didn't have the streams going at the same quality we have now. Just a lot to love here. We're going to get right into this fight. Ralphis will be our first spectate here. Very sneaky. Not going to take shit from Legion at all. Get that frag in. Tie up the game.
Yep, and this is actually the same 3 maps that we saw last time. King. Actually, no, I lied. Forget it. But this is the first time we've watched Ralph today.
And Legion.
And Legion, yes. Both players have had their struggles so far in these qualifiers. Ralph famously entering kind of last minute, no practice in Qualifier 2. Trying again last week in Qualifier 3, still hasn't made it, so here we are, Qualifier 4, trying to qualify, and Legion has had some really strong games. He actually almost made it out of the losers bracket, I believe in Qualifier 2, and, you know, he's been playing some really good games as well, and this is a real quality matchup here.
Just really excited. I would want to see everybody, like, I don't have a favorite in this match, you know? Like, I've got mad respect for both players. It's hard to be impartial.
Well, and it's interesting because there are two players that know each other very well. Maybe not on the scene, but they've played a lot of capture the flag against each other, with each other. So, you know, this is definitely a battle of equals here.
A battle of wits, like who can exploit what they know about their opponent the best.
And something that we haven't seen too much of that Ralph right now, Plasma. And he catches Legion off guard there. I'm not sure if Legion was able to BFG.
Did a little bit of damage, just enough to finish him off with like a nice little spray there at the end. And the BFG comes out.
Legion able to evade it so far. Actually receiving no damage from it, which is pretty great, but Ralph still gets the frag anyway.
Ralphis is one of those players that has an impeccable rhythm to the way that he plays. He's got, gets a tempo down and he kind of sticks to it. He's doing that all the way through this match thus far. Anytime he gets a new weapon, he knows exactly how to exploit it. We see a lot of players that kind of depend on one thing. Ralphis is one of those well-rounded people who really knows how to exploit every single weapon in the game. And look at that. As Legion comes in, just spraying away with his shot, or with his rockets rather. Ralphis just patiently, he knows what direction he's coming from and waits for it. Able to capitalize. And it's 17-9. Speaks for itself. Can't count Legion out. Starting to get some comeback here. Actually, we're going to switch over to Legion's point of view now. Rockets flying, no one's dying. Until now.
Somebody's probably crying, though.
I'm going to start crying here in a minute if you keep being present.
I know.
By the way, folks, I posted
Legion
the bracket.
able to cut it to 4.
Yeah. The bracket is posted in the notes there for your enjoyment if you would like to see what's going on. I wish we had maybe we could do this next week, a feature where the bracket actually shows who's streaming it and like just links straight to them.
That would be great, actually.
I wonder if I can figure that out.
I mean, it's hard because, you know, we're just kind of sitting here and a game starts and we're like, all right, let's stream this. It's hard to update in real time, but...
We need a monkey is what we need.
Well, we have one. His name is Slared. Really close game so far. And it was interesting, Ralphis, in his first match today, it was a rematch against Disco Ryan, who took him out in the first qualifier he played in. And so he was able actually to overcome that matchup, and he finds himself here against Legion. He was doing a really good job of not letting Ralph take a huge lead. Keeping it close.
And getting spawn frags. It looks like he might be able to clean it back up. And here we are, almost tied. 15 health. Can he clean it up? No.
Not yet. Put a pin in that. He's getting closer. Ralph almost got him from behind there.
The momentum shift cannot be lost upon us, though. Ralphis not quite keeping the same tempo he was before, maybe getting a little tired, I'm not sure, or just changing his pace up in general, but whatever the case, Legion has done an excellent job of capitalizing on it, and that'll be 2 frag difference. Staying pretty steady with that thus far, I'd say. Good rocket, but it's not enough to finish him off here. Ralph is very comfortable with just like standing behind a corner. He's like, yeah, okay. Object permanence is a factor. Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not there. Good shotgun damage here. And that's a tied game, almost. For a split second, back to the tie. The BFG is going to start.
Ralph's going to try his rocket strategy here, but Legion has him cornered right now.
Legion can't quite get this BFG to go where he wants it to, and Ralphis knows that. Very comfortable just hiding in his corner. Like, you come to me. And he peeks out, and Legion just able to put the bead on him.
And it was interesting. You saw it. Wow, nice BSG swing shot there from Legion. Saw Ralph get really aggressive.
Something that Legion just did here. He got the kill, and then immediately turned to the spawn point to shoot again, anticipating Ralphis' respawn. Didn't work out for him, but that is just like a testament to the expert gameplay we're going to see out of this guy. He's taking the lead now. Can he keep the spread going? Yeah, you're not quite hidden standing on that ledge. It's such a factor on this map.
Well, and this is where the battle between being on the lower end or being up high comes into play.
Yeah.
It's hard to know which one is the advantage. We've tended to go towards not being up high because it's easier for the player down below to hide, but you know, right now we're seeing a mixture of both. And
it's not Quake, you know, you don't have like omnidirectional rocket, you know, splash damage to worry about. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna shoot down at you and, you know, splash you all over the place and shoot you up in the air and then LG you or anything like that. This is a totally different style of gameplay where it's like, if you just stand there and wait for them to respawn, you're gonna be able to capitalize every single time. I don't think at any point on this map have we seen the high ground really play in anyone's favor. I'm going to go back over to Ralphis' POV as we get closer to the end of this match. Whatever the case, it is a maximum of 10 frags to go. Very nice shotgun here. Ralphis slowly but surely is trying to close this off. Great 180 shotgun here.
Yeah, with 2 frags left, you're going to see Ralph kind of play. Well, I was going to say play the Hermit game, but he came right out with the BFG and proved me wrong.
And the rocket not going to pay off.
Legion's got some work to do. Yeah.
And that'll
there you go.
First map will go to Ralphis.
The switch right past the midway point. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And at the end of the day, Ralph takes it. So he is up 1-0. I believe we have Mu2D and Uptight DM left. So I think it would probably be a mistake for Legion to choose Mu2D based on Ralph's experience there. But let's see what happens.
Like Xenaero is trying to figure out how to turn some loud noise off.
Well, it's another heavyweight map. Legion and Ralph is both very experienced players here on Mu. I would say Ralph is probably the stronger player.
Gonna follow.
But Legion.
Go ahead.
Legion decides to take the challenge, the hardest challenge. So, let's see what happens.
It's what he wants. He wants it. Well, he gets it. I don't like it any more than you do. Already tied up here. 30 seconds in, it's 4-4. It's just going to be non-stop action, I'm hoping. Smaller map.
I think so. I think the history of these two players on this map is they're not going to play that defensive, you know, come get me map. They're going to be right out in the open, attacking each other, very aggressive from the beginning of the game right to the end.
Not a whole lot of out in the open on this map.
No, but there's a lot of out in the open, aggressively attack your opponent. Like right now, I mean, they're just like kind of trading humps against each other almost.
An episode of TV Puppet Pals, man. You just bonk.
Yeah.
Bonk. 7-7. Minute and 30 seconds in. Actually, you are starting to see Legion try to slow it down a bit, stay in his corner. Surprising.
Well, he was listening to me talk.
It's possible.
It's definitely the smart thing to do. You don't want to stick to the same strategy if you find yourself falling behind. I mean, he wasn't able to win on King, and they're tied up here, but, you know, slowing it down is probably going to be advantageous to Legion. Because I just don't see Ralphis playing that type of game. And she's trying to bait. Like we've talked about in the last couple qualifiers, you know, Ralph is very much into using sounds and jumps and chain gun shots and stuff like that to kind of lure his opponent out and lead him somewhere false, you know, like give him that false sense of security, like I know where this person is, and then he comes out of nowhere. So it's probably a better game for Legion to slow it down. But Ralph is just so sneaky too. Like he's sneaky, but he's fast.
He's
so
fat, but
it's
he's
definitely
fast.
Yeah.
Fat Albert. All right. Very nice. Pushing him back with the shotgun there. Legion gonna capitalize on these spawn frags. Can he finish him off here? No. But he gets the refrag. They're just tied up again. This is such a close match between two really very similar styled players. Nice job just waiting on him to come through. He knew he was coming. Hang back in my corner and just watch him eat some shotgun. That's a missed shot there. It's gonna cost. Go back over to Ralphis' POV here. See if he can run away with this lead. Very nice rockets there. At the very least able to push Legion back, but as he rushes in with the shotgun, he's not able to capitalize on the advantage he gave himself. Little premature shotgun ejaculation there, unfortunately. And you gotta wait for the next one. You gotta recharge. Have a cigarette or something. The other person's gonna be able to retaliate while you do. Very nice. Ralphis, again, very comfortable just waiting for his opponent to walk past him. Still within one frag. Ralphis is starting to try to slow the match down as he gets this lead. That's going to be the biggest advantage he has. Just kind of sit here and probably wait, but he's not looking in the right direction. Legion able to capitalize on Ralphis, not keeping his eyes on the prize. It's a nice BFG there. 27-28. They're both getting lost in this little turnstile here, and not a good respawn to have for Legion. That's going to give a 3-frag lead to Ralphis, who is now just going to be walking around slowly looking for his opponent. He can't get an eyeball on him. It looks like Legion knew where he wanted to be, but wasn't able to capitalize on Ralphis not seeing him there. The BFG starts flying around every single direction he can possibly point it in. He's hearing him. It sounds like Legion's got a BFG of his own. And Ralphis expertly dodging it and getting the frag right there. And not able to capitalize on the respawn. Unfortunate. Good BFG damage here. Stuff like that's going to be what leads to a victory, I think, is just stringing together those refrags, because other than that, these guys are evenly matched. It's just been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if you can just be the one who gets that extra little refrag, capitalize on that respawn, that's what it's really going to come down to, folks. We're at the magic 40 mark now. It's going to be extremely difficult, both psychologically and execution-wise, for Legion to make up for this difference. And again, it's just come down to Ralphis is getting those refrags. He's getting those, every refrag he needs to get. He's getting every spawn frag he needs to get. He's just not wasting a lot of time, and he's running away with it now. 10 frags to make up for with Legion. Not looking good, pal.
It's not, but you saw Legion get really aggressive there, and just basically he's starting to follow Ralph around. And I don't know if that's a new strategy, but
it seems like it is. He's being way more aggressive, probably than he needs to be given the situation. At this point, it's about not getting fragged. Do not give Ralphis any points, and
yeah. And right now it's a little bit of desperation as well. You know,
for sure.
I'm sure he's tried everything. And he doesn't know where Ralph is, actually. Now he does, but
fortunately,
some nice spawn frags.
Gonna watch Legion try to make up for this 2 frag difference now. Ralphis is looking pretty good. We're gonna go back to his POV and see if he finishes this off.
1 frag left.
And it's gonna be the hide and go seek. You can hear him, but he can't justify going out there with that BFG going off, and that will be that, folks. He just waited for him. That's the winning strategy of the day for Ralphis. Wait on your opponent to run right in front of your shotgun and blast him to hell. And that is gonna be that for these two guys. Ralphis will move on. Legion, will see you in the lower bracket. And who are we going to be spectating next, Bones? Let's take a look at the bracket.
Well, let's take a look. So we've got... We'll probably be streaming Ralphis and Dastan. Jahar's got Devastation and SlowSheep, which I really want to mention this because we seeded Unknown and Ty. And SlowSheep, this is... he was actually signed up to Qualifier number 3. Didn't end up showing up. And he enters today essentially as a brand new sign up to the qualifiers. Manages to take down Unknown and Ty on his way to Devastation, and that's going to be an epic matchup. So that'll be something to watch over on Tasty Spleen if anyone's interested. Right now on King Dime, we've got Azriel versus Solar. Of course, we were following Solar for a couple games there, having a really good day. Just got a bad matchup against Dev. So right now it's looking like Ralphis and Dastan. Let's see what server. Hang on.
I'm going to go ahead and update the overlay for our viewing pleasure. Ralph and Dastan. It's going to be an interesting match. Every match is interesting. Like, there's really not been... I don't think I've seen a single match that's just like, ugh, boring at all. And I expected fully for Solar to not be able to play against Devastation in the way that he was, and was totally wrong. So, start off the day wrong, end the day wrong, I hope. Alrighty.
Alright, so it looks like Ralph and Dastan are going to go to the Brit server. So let's follow them there.
Is this British Steel?
Yes.
Yeah, qualifier A or qualifier B.
B is taken right now, so let's go to A.
Alrighty, daddy. Oh, look at those credits. That's beautiful. Alright. I'm going to leave this open and step away for just a split second while we wait for everyone to get ready and do their call votes. Bones, the floor is yours.
Oh boy. Well, much like the last matchup where we had Ralphis and Legion, Dastan is another strong player. He has really taken hold over the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years as a dominant player in the multiplayer community. He started off playing CTF in the CTF leagues, and he wasn't really, he was more like your typical third. He has some bad connection. But he's been able to overcome that, actually, and he's gone from a strong third to a captain now. And, again, these two players know each other well. They've played against each other quite a bit. And interestingly enough, Ralphis and Dastan played each other last week, with Dastan coming out victorious on that. So, this is another rematch for these two players. And again, the interesting thing about this matchup is that, the winner of this is going to qualify. So this is a really important matchup for these two. They've been struggling for a bit to make it to the next level. So let's see who is going to qualify first. Dastan, by the way, Bones. Let's see what he says. Is it possible to remove vote cooldown? Sure would be if someone would tell me how to do it. Let's see. So actually, they were able to find some pretty common ground here in terms of ping. They're both playing on a British server. Dastan, of course, is from Morocco, and Ralphis is currently in Florida. So, there's about a 30 ping difference. Not too bad, considering. All right, so we've started with the bans here. Dastan banned CGI, Ralphis banned Pyrrhic, Dastan bans Uptight, and Ralphis bans Idea. So we are left with 3 classic maps here. We are left with Mu 2D, King 1, and Dweller 2, map 11. We have yet to see Dweller on this stream today. Are we going to see it now? We are. All right, so we're going to start off with Mu 2D. That's Dastan's pick. And we're going to move into Dweller. Ralphis is listening. Thank you. I have not seen it today.
Looks like we're shaping up for a good one here. Is this the
we
first
are,
time
and
we've seen Dweller today?
You couldn't have picked 2 different maps to have in a matchup. So, like I said, I don't know if you were here listening, but Dastan actually... That was a good one, Dastan. Anyway, Dastan and Ralph played each other last week. Dastan was able to defeat Ralphis. So this is a rematch, and both players, right off the bat, attacking each other. And let's see if Ralph can take the strategy that he used against Legion and apply it versus Dastan here. So far, things are neck and neck. Ralph should have been able to get that spawn frag, but
there ain't no doubt about it. But already tied up here, and we're just going to see Ralph is kind of running with the same strategy he had before, and then he'll have to adjust accordingly to how Dastan plays. Which is pretty aggressive.
Nice
as well.
telefrag there.
Very nice. Like, ran through him with the shotgun joust there. Speared him more than he shot him, to be honest with you.
And you can see, you know, we saw in the first couple games that Ralph played in the last few qualifiers that he wasn't really feeling comfortable on Xandronum, and it was a bit of a struggle to him for him to adjust. But you can see him now; he's moving quick around those corners. You know, he's able to play the style that he wants to play, and he seems to be getting more and more used to it as the games go on. So it's going to be a tough task for Dastan.
The only thing Ralphis is doing wrong is missing shots. Everything else seems to be pretty solid.
That's true.
He's made a lot of mistakes, like cognitively, that I've seen.
Yeah, and you can't do much about those spawn frags.
Don't spawn. Can't get spawned.
Don't spawn, or, you know, don't go in the same direction every time you spawn. If you spawn in the same spot 3 times, don't go to the left 3 times out of 3. But
Very
bam,
nice
he gets that right in the face.
BFG play here. And just running him down with it. Can he get the shotgun off? No. Dastan says, you will not continue to do that to me.
Oh, see, and that was another whiff, but I'm going to switch over to Dastan right now.
As will I. Just as he gets another frag
Dastan able to tie it up.
Game.
Yep.
Kisses. Pinch poke.
Ralph's kind of setting a trap for him there, just waiting for him.
Ralph is so comfortable setting traps. He's not a care in the world whatsoever. Nothing stops him from doing that every single time if he can. He'll stand still and wait for you to come to him.
He will.
It's an irresistible force.
That's a Jane's Addiction song.
I didn't know that.
That's why I said it. All tied up here at 2020.
Yeah, and stealing these frags. I guess Dastan's been caught stealing, if you will. He's going to keep moving forward and trying to push this against Ralphis, but Ralphis playing on the defensive and is able to come out from an unknown angle to get that shotgun frag. 10 health now, and he's just probably shouldn't have ran into that fight. It's okay, it happens to the worst of us. All tied up, and then just like that, Dastan taking the lead. Getting these spawn frags left, right, left.
Just some shitty spawns for Ralph. But that's one thing that I think is interesting when you have games with players that started in different generations. You see different play styles and different ways of handling, you know, those really close combat matchups. Like the stuff that Ralphis is doing, where you said, oh, he's coming from like a weird angle. I mean, that's stuff that newer players don't really have much experience with. So, you know, that's to Ralph's advantage there. But you know, you can't really do anything about Dastan's spawn frags where he goes up by 6. I mean, that was just unfortunate.
There's a lot of factors going on. There's like who's used to what ping, who's used to, like, you know, the source port we're playing on. I've said this many times, but people just come from different dojos and schools of learning, as you said, with their strategies and just play style in general. Like, who do you play with on a regular basis? And then when we all meet up to have a big tournament like this, we really see which strategies pay off. And right now, Dastan is running away with the lead. He's already at the magical 40 number. 9 frags to go for Ralphis. He's going to have to really string something together, but with accuracy like what we're seeing out of Dastan right now, that's going to be very difficult for Ralphis.
Well, and you're actually seeing a little bit of a repeat of what happened to Ralph last week. Different map, but, you know, there was a video going around where Ralph got essentially like 13 spawns in a row on that BFG spawn and King 1, and it was just like, you know, he was down like 24-9. And what do you do at that point? I mean, Dastan was just able, what did he get? Like 15 spawn frags right in these 2 spawns right here. And that's just devastating. That's really hard to come back from. And you can see it. You know, Ralph just seems kind of dejected at this point. He's probably, you know, going to do his best to catch up here, but
happy to he's probably, let this go to the next map. And
yeah, I think he's probably moved on to the next map at this point.
Yeah. Dastan, meanwhile, having his way with Ralphis. I say as he takes that.
Yeah.
This could be Ralphis' turning point. Can he string together 10 straight frags on Dastan?
Well,
That's too much damage.
No,
That'll be that.
he can't.
There's your replay, folks.
Mu2D. You know, it's not one of these types of maps. Like, you're not gonna get 5 spawn frags in a row on Dweller 2 map 11. I mean, it's just too big.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about it. I'm gonna sprint really fast and grab my coffee and try to be back before this next match starts. So, see you soon. Never mind. I'm gonna stick it out. No coffee for me.
Well, and this is the map where I think we're going to have to see, you know, Ralph's really going to have to use his experience here to take this one, because you saw Dastan's aim last map. I mean, it was just incredible. So he's not missing anything. Ralph's just going to have to outsmart him here.
Right off the bat, Ralphis with the first frag of the match. 2. Dastan just not able to get his footing right here in the beginning. Finally gets a hold of a real weapon and uses it to his advantage here. The rockets coming from all directions.
You know,
this is a different kind of map, though.
Ralph just had probably 3 or 4 different opportunities to frag Dastan there, and Dastan doing a good job of avoiding all of those and playing a little bit of a dodging game. Ralph goes up 3-1, and you can see Ralph is playing this very slow. Now he's going to play the teleporter game.
Yeah, Ralph.
You know, I think a lot of players don't know. A lot of players don't know where the teleporters lead, so it's a tough game to play if you're doing it really quickly. You kind of tend to forget which teleporter leads where. So in order to make that happen successfully, you got to have knowledge of where they go and where you end up.
Oh, certainly.
So far Ralph does. See if he gets a pistol kill there. Another nice spawn frag.
It's about 2 weeks ago with Ralphis on this map where he just didn't seem quite confident with the teleporters, and now that he's starting to string it together, I think he's maybe practiced a bit, maybe learned from his mistakes last time.
Well, and see, in a situation like that, like we talked about last map, you know, you don't want to just spawn and without really knowing where your opponent is. So you saw Ralph spawn there on the rocket launcher, and he jumps down and Dastan frags him. In a situation like that, when Ralph spawned on the rocket launcher, he probably should have backed up, but, you know, split-second decisions like that are tough in a tournament match.
This is where he lost to Seaford. What we saw, the winning strategy at that time on this map was that moving backwards almost, and just like playing with the teleporters, knowing where you're going to be, knowing where your opponent's going to be, and just letting them fall into a trap. This is not a map where you can just, you know, hope to get every single respawn frag that you're going to see. Like, it's just not exactly, the word I'm looking for is plausible to think that you're going to be able to close the distance fast enough in a map with so much standing in between you and the spawn points.
Yep. Well, and like we mentioned, Ralph's strength on Mu2D against Legion was to let Legion just kind of show up on his screen, and he's starting to do a little bit of that here, but he's just not having as much success early on. Dastan able to evade much of what Ralph is doing right now.
We're going to have to take a moment to acknowledge that beautiful rocket to shotgun combo that Dastan pulled off to tie up the game just a couple of minutes ago. And here we are tied up again.
Yep, I'm going to switch over to Dastan's POV.
That's where we're at already.
Alright.
Yeah, Ralph is starting to pull away just a little bit. I'm not sure that it's actually going to be in his favor.
Well, you know, like I said, he's trying to camp a little bit. He's trying to play that surprise, you know, shot around the corner game, but
there's a lot of angles on this map.
There are.
And also, just in general, not a map with as many sound cues as some of the other maps we've seen today. And that it's not flat. It's not a direct line of sight to your opponent. You can hear it, but you're not going to be able to like actually maneuver towards it necessarily. And you know, there's not as many jump pads going on, or I should say lifts in this game. I'm so used to Quake.
This is a good spot for Ralph to be in.
Yeah.
Well, it was anyway.
And Dastan is doing a lot of like hopping down to make his little grunt sounds, and in an effort, I think, to get Ralphis to run towards him, and Ralphis will not do that. Like, that is one mistake I don't think we're ever going to see Ralphis do, is fall for his own trick.
And you saw Dastan approach a little bit and take a shot off, and then Ralph said, okay, well, maybe Dastan's over here, but you know, they're both actually playing this like possum game almost right now.
Ralphis is just sitting on his side of the map currently while Dastan does the same thing, and one of them is going to have to get curious. Here we go, a little bit of action. That's tied up.
Ralph ties it up. That was risky from Ralph. Ran right by Dastan, went through the teleporter, able to get a shot off.
Very nice shotgun as he moved between the teleporters there. 15-15.
Yeah, Ralph thought about going through the teleporter when he saw Dastan spawn with the rocket launcher, but I think it was a smart move that he didn't. Although Dastan gets the frag anyway, gets another frag. Suddenly Dastan up by 2.
We're going to take this opportunity to hop over to Ralphis' POV. The pistol comes out, and it's not going to defend you against a real weapon. And Ralphis
starting to see the biggest lead here so far.
Stood still in the corner and let Dastan impale himself on the end of that machine gun. Just
and with the rocket launcher.
Holy cow.
Ralphis, very smart there, doesn't jump down because he knew that Dastan had the jump on him for the SSG, so
no pun intended.
At some point you got to stop. Yeah, at some point you got to stop using the chain gun.
If it's what you got, it's what you got. Ralphis, again, like as I said before, is a master with every weapon. Like, he knows exactly, you know, if it's all you got, he knows how to use it. Make the best of it, at the very least. But sometimes the better strategy is, hey, go get another weapon.
Some really nice movement by both players there. Ralph loving his chain gun right now. And there you go, he gets the frag.
Really appreciate the follow there.
He's got to know. I mean, he had to have known that Dastan was going to come out with the SSG.
For sure.
That's a great spot that Ralph's sitting into.
Yeah, well, if he comes through the teleporter, Ralphis is just going to be able to pick him off. Otherwise, like, if he tries to run to the teleporter, Ralphis will be there waiting for him, completely invisible to the naked eye. But he's decided a different strategy where he's going to turn his back to this opening, but chose correctly and is able to run through the teleporters. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, shot for shot, Dastan's going to take that one. A 3 frag difference now, and just way too much machine gun for my taste. Ralphis needs to bring the big guns out if he wants to play.
No, I think Ralph's listening to me talk and trying to use the chain gun just to prove me wrong.
I really hope not, because it's not paying off.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He's not proving you wrong. He's proving you right. Stop doing that, Ralphis.
Nobody likes when I'm right.
Yeah, you're right. No one likes it. I don't even like it right now when you're right about that.
It's cringy, isn't it?
It's disgusting. Makes me want to fucking throw up.
Yeah. Yep. So Dastan takes a 5 frag lead now. You know, just trying to get it. What do you think Ralph's strategy is here? I mean, he's using the chain gun so much. Is he just trying to lure Dastan into being aggressive? Is he just trying to take as much damage as he can? I'm trying to figure it out.
This is one of those situations where I'm going to get Ralph on voice after this match and ask him. Because I don't know. I don't know what the logic is in it. I'm sure there's something. It might just be for funsies. But he's got to close this gap. It's been a pretty consistent 3 to 4 frag lead for Dastan for a while now, and we're only, you know, halfway through the match, roughly, just a little over halfway, frags-wise. Ralphis might be stretching his old wrists out here as he waits.
Yeah, a little bit over halfway through the match. We're almost halfway through the time.
We might actually see these guys go the distance. Like, because Ralphis is very comfortable.
Historically,
yeah. Hey, nope.
Is one of those maps where you could play a 30-minute game.
I'd like to see it, or a 20-minute in our
Me
case.
too. I have a little bit of news. You'd be happy to know that DevastatioN is the first player to qualify in today's qualifier. Congrats, Dev.
Much love, man. I'm so happy. That means I don't have to do that weird thing I promised earlier. I don't remember what it was, or if I even said what it was going to be.
I'm not sure. I wasn't listening.
I think it was like eat my pants or something. Or I'll eat my hat. Devastation doesn't qualify for this tournament. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. What matters right now is that Ralphis has a 6 frag deficit to make up for, and he is not doing a great job. We're going to watch Dastan now and see if he's able to continue to create a larger and larger spread here. 8 frags now.
Ralph was waiting for Dastan to go through the teleporter there, but Dastan was not biting. And now it's just a chain gun battle.
Very nice rocket from Dastan there.
Very nice.
10 frag difference now, and Dastan moving ever closer to the magical number of 40.
Remember, folks, whoever wins this match qualifies.
Also true. Well, not this match, not this map though. Yep,
right.
This map. Well, for Ralphis is trying to continue to play. Dastan
If Dastan wins, he will qualify.
There we go. We arrived at something after a while, folks.
We did.
We're both old and stupid.
Well, you're about half right. Well, it's not looking good, but it's not impossible.
It's impossible.
These telefrags are,
I think we're going to
just
see.
Not necessary.
Ralphis is going to the lower bracket. That's my call at this point. He's going to have to dramatically change up his playstyle at this point.
Well, it depends who he gets matched up against. I mean, he's got... Dastan is a strong player, and I wouldn't say that even though the score doesn't look too close, I thought they had really close games. So, whoever Ralph gets matched up against, all he's got to do is just play the way that he was playing against Legion, which was really strong, really confident. I think he focused a little bit too much on using the chain gun here. I mean, you're right. I want to ask him what his strategy was if he had one, but
possible that it's just not his map.
It's possible. I think he's just got to play a little bit smarter, and if there's anyone that can do that, it's Ralph. But it's looking like Dastan is going to qualify here. Ralph might
content
extend.
To wait.
Yep.
Hey, Peekaboo, I see you. Oh, is Dastan gonna add insult to injury by using Ralphis' favorite weapon this matchup? Oh, Ralph is able to actually get a point in here. Slowing it down. Dastan growing impatient. He wants to go ahead and solidify his victory. Ralph again coming in, getting these spawn frags, stringing them together. Can he do it for 12 straight frags now? No. That will be that. Dastan is now qualified for the Take the Crown tournament and his chance to win $1,500.
In the finals of the winner's bracket.
Who will be taking on the stream for that?
Well,
and then
there's actually a game going on right now between two players we haven't watched yet. If you'd like to go take a look at that, and then probably set up Jahar for Devastation versus Dastan.
Okay. let us get to their server.
It is root and unknown in the server.
And are they, do we know what map they're on? They're lower bracket, so it's not going to matter too much.
Yep, it's just one map.
Okay. And I'm sorry, repeat the server again.
Brit Steel.
Bravo.
Qualifier
Brit
B.
Steel, Bravo. Yeah. Here we go.
All right, another King 1 game. You know, there's been a running joke for the last couple qualifiers that Unknown has had some really bad luck in his matchups. And he's a strong player. I would agree, you know, no matter how we've seeded him or tried to seed him, he's just got some unlucky matchups. And Rude is just another in a string of unlucky matchups. Rude is a super strong CTF player. He plays a lot of Quake also. Haven't seen him duel too much on Zandronum, but there's always that base level of skill that transfers over. And Rude entered the qualifier number 3 at the last minute last week, and I think he was matched up against Dev in this first match, so, you know, nobody wants to start off playing Dev. But we got a tight one here. It's 2017. Rude with a 3 frag advantage.
Following Unknown here on the stream, and just intent to kind of play the middle ground here with his BFG and try to get through these gaps. Not sure he exactly knew where his opponent was, but it's unmistakable whenever that particular weapon comes out and you see the plasma flying in every which direction. Unfortunate spawns there and a suicide. Gonna tie up the game now.
Some more unfortunate spawns.
Rude starting to run away with it just a little bit with a 7 frag lead. Very nice.
Interestingly enough, Ralphis and Legion will play each other again in a best of 1 in the losers bracket.
That is going to be... We need to see that for sure.
We do. But you're right, Rude takes a 7 frag lead here. A little more than halfway through the match. And Rude's aim seems to be really on point. He's making some good spawn frags.
Yeah, he's just been kind of consistently keeping Unknown on his back 2 feet here, and we're also seeing a lot more weapon control, I think, out of Rude. He's been definitely using a lot more plasma than what we're used to seeing, but with this string of spawn frags we're seeing out of Unknown, it's going to be very quickly closing that gap. Yeah. So much control there.
And just almost like a blind rocket there from Rude to take down Unknown. That was pretty crazy.
We're gonna flop over here to Rude's POV. We're approaching the magic number again. Very nice.
Some nice spawn frags by Unknown, keeping this game close. Rude at one point had a 7 frag lead. It's now down to 3.
Close that gap so quickly. Just
Yeah. Oh, some nice rockets.
Right. So
One of those rare times. Go ahead. Sorry.
As we cross the 40 mark, we're like still too close to really call it anything definitive at this point. So I think it's going to come down to whether or not Rude can continue to control the weapons as he has been this entire time. But if we get another string of spawn frags like we saw out of Unknown again, I don't think he's going to be able to handle it like that.
No, and
immediately.
That was kind of a mistake. Like, I think Unknown should have realized that Rude was going to go for the BFG there. He should have kind of been a little bit more aggressive, not let him get that BFG shot off, because Unknown could have taken the lead there. Instead, he finds himself down by 3.
You know, Rude's walking around with 1 health now, so it's just a matter of Unknown putting an eyes on him, and amazingly just moving right on through unpunished. It's not like Unknown doesn't know where he's at.
Well, I'm surprised actually Rude hasn't suicided yet. But, you know, this could go on forever. He's got 40 rockets.
Did a lot of damage there. Actually made everything he could out of that life. 2 frag deficit.
Oh, man.
Make that
Unknown's
3.
got to get this frag. He's got to get this. There you go.
And can he capitalize right here? The plasma gun flying everywhere, and it's not quite what we need to see for Unknown.
But he gets a great BFG spawn.
Still only a 2 frag difference. Almost tied up.
Unknown's got to hide now, because, you know, Rude's coming after him with the BFG. There you go. That was well played by Unknown. You know, he didn't stop. He didn't try to do anything. He just kept running. I mean, this is it. 48-48. You know, no mistakes from this point forward.
A little too aggressive. Don't get too big for your britches, man. Nice rocket to tie it back up.
There you go.
Unknown pulls it off.
Wow.
Amazingly.
That was incredible.
And this is going to serve as a great opportunity for old Motherlode to run and go get himself some delicious coffee. So I'm going to pull us over to the AFK channel and mute us for just a bit while I do that. And then we'll come back and I'll check in with you to see where we're going next.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Cool. And we're back. It's amazing how like those matches lasted exactly the right amount of time for my coffee to get to perfect drinking temperature. Like Not too cold yet, but not so hot it'll burn your tongue off. I'm very pleased with the way this day is going. Might be my lucky day. But with that said, Bones, what's our next matchup?
We are going to follow the amazing comeback kid, Unknown, as he fights off against Legion.
This is a best of one.
And
yeah.
This is the best of one losers bracket. You know, Unknown has had, as I mentioned, he's had a really tough time in the brackets. And, I mean, it's not going to get any easier, but that 50-49 comeback win has got to be a huge confidence booster for him. So let's see. I think we're going to play on a New York server. Let's figure out which one.
We got quite a set of options here, so... And we have the New Jersey server. I always forget we have that one too.
All right, let's head to Den's Den, New York A.
New York Qualifier A. All right, pulling it up. And over to the action, folks. It's not quite action yet. It's more like just watching our players run around in circles. Legion is getting pumped, getting that pregame exercise. Never a dull moment. And Unknown is here, ready to accept his challenge.
Really quickly, I'm going to run to the bathroom.
No problem, bro. That's what we're here for. So, chat, I'm interested to know what your prediction is here. I've got my money solidly on Unknown. I'm so impressed by the way that he was able to capitalize on that last match. But then again, man, Legion seems like he's pumped and ready to go. Maybe I have to retract on that. It's very hard to make a decision on a day like this when everything is like up in the air. Everyone's playing at their absolute peak. They know it's crunch time. They know it's their last chance to qualify. We've already qualified 2 players. Devastation is in, as well as God dang it, I don't even remember who else qualified. Whatever. It's been a great day, and we're gonna find out when Bones gets back. I'm sure he's got it all under control. Point being, no shortage of action here. Just look at that gorgeous, gorgeous skybox that turns completely black when you look vertically, because this is Doom. I wish we could see a duel on the hub map. That would be really interesting, where you could actually like run into these portals and then like continually like just be on a different map. Sort of like the for anyone who is a Fairly Odd Parents, like the Channel Surfers movie, where they just keep going like, oh, now we're on this map, now we're on that map, but it's completely interchangeable and the frags stay the same, the timer stays the same. Someone invent that for me. But for now, we're going to get started. We're going to start off following good old Unknown here. I think he's going to have a distinct advantage on the map in question, but we shall see. Legion is absolutely not afraid to play on this map, and we have seen nothing but excellent performance out of him the entire time. Still no frag, though. We're 10 seconds in. What an amazing match, folks. Lots of damage flying across, and go ahead and just capitalize on getting all that health. It's not coming back, so we might as well take it while we can.
Unknown gets first blood here.
Beautiful rocket right through the gap to finish him off.
It's almost like Unknown let that happen.
I think his motivations are unknown.
Could be. Nice SSG shot, but you know, Legion gets that BFG spawn, and that's not helpful.
Legion had him scouted there, but Unknown doing some expert platforming to get down and out of that situation, and just didn't pay off quite. Yep. Still super close, though. And this is actually, considering what map we're on thus far, kind of slow. Already over a minute in, it's just like not a lot of frags.
Very slow, and Legion right there is able to get a couple good BFG spawn frags, and he gets placement on the plasma. So right now he's back to full strength, but Unknown takes him down.
Yeah. Unknown's sitting on top of the box there waiting for someone to come through. And the BFG wasn't able to fucking finish him off. Surprisingly in that corner, but I guess it's just the right angle.
And again, you know, Unknown able to take down Legion with seemingly an advantageous position with the BFG. Legion getting really lucky here, although he's only got one right now. And Unknown takes him down, you know, but he's just able to... He's been getting all these BFG spawns, and he's been getting really good placement on the BFG. So Unknown's playing a little bit of a running game right now. You know, he's trying to dodge these shots, these BFG shots. And, you know, that can be hard to do on this map. You see him run out. He's trying to lead Legion into the back there.
Considering the expectation that Legion has been having of BFG, it's still a fairly close match. Like, Unknown's just not been in a position to really do much of anything.
Well, whenever Unknown gets the BFG spawn, it's just bad luck that Legion's right there to get him down. And then whenever Legion gets it, it's the complete opposite, you know. Unknown is like somewhere else on the map. So
it's possibly not luck. It's Unknown seems to be comfortable, kind of like hiding away and waiting for things to happen, whereas Legion has been constantly on the offense.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you know he's eventually going to get that BFG spawn, maybe be there to catch him with a shotgun right off the bat instead of waiting around. You know, oh, he'll come over here eventually, like, because it's not paying off. And we're already starting to see the spread go away. And I thought Unknown, like, for sure was going to be favored on this map. His winning strategy is not winning him anything right now.
Well, I think when you go up against players like Legion, who are very, very strong in BFG usage, you know, you have to counter that. I mean, the best counter for a BFG is a BFG. So, I mean, right now we were able to see Unknown cut that lead down in half, but still, you know, he's got a lot of ground to make up here in a short amount of time.
Excellent.
Some nice rocket play from Legion. Yep. And if only auto aim worked better, Legion might have a few more frags there. Legion just seems to be waiting it out. He knows he has more health than Unknown. Unknown still gets the frag, 2 frags. Another nice rocket from Legion.
Just a reminder, the winner of this match will go on to face SlowSheep.
Yes, and unfortunately, the loser does not qualify. So this is going to be the end of the road for... Unknown is really
done a great job of pulling it back together. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch over here to Legion's POV. Content to stand there and wait. And it worked out perfectly for him. Just able to execute with that single barrel shotgun. Gonna see some BFG start flying. And
yeah,
that's
that frag was all about Legion's knowledge of how much damage he's done to his opponent, and, you know, knowing that all it takes is one shot to take him down.
Oh no, just walked out at the wrong time, and Legion was there, not able to defend himself. Unknown again gonna try to stand on top of the box, and Legion had him scouted at this time. Good shotgun damage. It is now 30 to 23 though Legion's way, and that is not a good place to be in for Unknown. Starting to close the gap again a little bit, but he can't be playing catch up the entire time. He's got to establish some kind of a definitive play.
Yeah, eventually he's going to run out of frags to catch up, but
being a little,
you know, for now he's a little too aggressive, and he's just not outsmarting Legion. See, Legion knew there that he could kill Unknown with the chain gun, because
suicide rocket right out the door.
That was pretty cool.
very nice shotgun for Legion. It's just getting worse and worse now for Unknown, 36 to 27, and unfortunately I am totally wrong about the outcome of this match if it continues to go the way it is.
That was a rough one for him. Unknown should have... First, he should have had that spawn frag, but then he had 2 or 3 chances to get Legion there.
Yeah. Unknown's really going to have to string something together. It's just... And he is, to be fair. He's not letting the gap get too crazy. It's not irredeemable for him at this point. But little mistakes
no, but
like
every time...
standing right there in front of that rocket, you know,
yep,
going to cost you. Especially right now.
Every time he cuts that deficit down, it just grows back to where it was. And he is running out of time very quickly here. We're down to our last 9 frags. He's down by 10, so he's essentially going to have to go 2-1 on Legion here in order to win this map.
And the pistol comes out. He's got 1 health. Can he get a frag? And yes, he does. And, knock on the door. Who's there? It's me with a shotgun. Fuck you.
Yeah, things are not looking good for him.
You gotta tell Flambeau I told a knock joke. He's gonna get real upset.
Oh.
Nice rocket there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
think the story of this game is just Legion's ability to get to BFG and Unknown's inability to stop him.
It's hard to come up with a winning strategy against that, man. I feel like perhaps Unknown has been doing a great job. He just started off the match maybe a little too passive and let Legion establish that dominance with the BFG too early and for too long.
And he didn't really challenge him, you know? He still has not really gone for the BFG here. He's trying to take Legion down with the SSG.
Yeah, he's almost playing like a plus back style, which just doesn't work.
See, and he got lucky there because Legion didn't have an SSG, but still he wasn't even able to get the kill.
Well, let's see what the Legionnaire is able to do here with 2 frags to go. Unknown starting to stack up a couple here in a row.
But you know, those rockets are deadly. That is the 3rd time that Unknown has gotten hit by one of those stray rockets that Legion has just thrown out there.
And Legion is an expert rocket shooter, and we're going to go ahead and watch the replay of that last frag. Here's the window shot. Going to come around, respawn, and through the doorway. Knock, knock. Dead. Goodbye. That's the end of it. So, yeah, great match for everybody.
Knock, knock. It's Flambeau.
Is it? No, please, God. Alright, so Legion will move on to play SlowSheep for his chance to qualify, I believe.
Well, let's see now. We're not quite there yet in terms of the losers bracket qualifying. We've got essentially the winner of Legion and SlowSheep will then have to play another match.
And who's going to play Ralph?
That'll be the winner of Ty vs. Solar. Let's see.
Are they still playing?
I believe that match is ongoing right now, yes.
Is anyone streaming it?
Indeed.
Okay. We'll
Dime and Do.
Fantastic. So let's stick around for SlowSheep because I don't think we've captured SlowSheep on the stream yet today.
We have not.
Be fun.
Let's see. That should be. That'll be in the New York server, I believe.
What an excellent days thus far, though. Like, every single match, at the very least, has been competitive. We haven't seen any complete washes at all.
No, they've all been competitive. They've been really good matchups.
The one matchup that I thought was going to be a wash, in no way at all was a wash. So it's just been incredible, dude. You guys have possibly organized the greatest Doom tournament that I've ever come across or heard of. When's the last time we had something like this large scale that lasted over a
Something
month?
like this? It's been a while. I mean, especially with the cash prize, I think there was one like 15 years ago where they gave out an MX 510 or MX 500 back when that mouse was like the biggest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
And that was, I want to say, like 2004, 2005. I'm really not sure of any other tournament like this that's happened since then. I mean, JKIS 3 ran several seasons of the Z-Daemon Duel League, which was the kind of the premier place to duel, and you played the top players there, and that was a very prestigious place. But there was no cash prize. There was no prize really in general. It was more just, you're playing against the best players, and it's bragging rights basically. So yeah, that's part of why, I really like the idea of doing this, is that it's been kind of a one of a kind event. So I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
I think it's gone way better than I had expected, especially after our little week 1 disaster. So
it happens to everybody, man. Are these guys ready to go?
Yeah,
in a
things
server?
happen. They are. SlowSheep will be following Legion to a New York server, so we just had to locate where that is. There we go. Same server we were in. Let's hop in there. Interestingly enough, Ty vs Solar is separated by 1 frag. So that's an epic losers bracket game there. While we wait for them to use the bathroom and choose maps, let's take a look. Ty is currently on top of Solar, 41-40. It's a slow game. Looks like they're 12 minutes in.
Do we have time to take the stream over to that server, or should we wait for these?
I would wait.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing the whole thing.
It's tied at 43 though, so that's got to be an epic game. King Dime is streaming that, so twitch.tv/KingDime if anyone's interested.
Get over there, but then come back in like
and
2
it
minutes.
Looks like Dev and Dastan are done. I'm not sure about the results. Let's see. Dev took out Dastan in 2 matches there. Close games, 50-43 and 50-45. So Dev moves on to the grand finals.
Sounds like
so
Dev
he's going to have a little bit of a wait.
Finally found his position. Got to where he
Sounds
wanted
like
to be.
it.
Got his foot back in the door. Got his sea legs, if you will.
Yeah. So Dev's going to have a little bit of a break while we make our way through the losers bracket here. But he starts off in the grand final up by 1. Dastan's got to battle his way through the losers bracket if he wants to make it back to the grand final, where he's going to have a rematch against Dev. And the thing about the placement here is we're going to use the placements in all 4 of the qualifiers to then seed the actual finals bracket for next week. So your placements do matter. It's not just about qualifying. But the interesting thing about the finals is it's going to switch from best of 3. Basically what's going to happen next week.
Whoa.
Take a look here in tourney info. Well, okay, so it's still going to be double elimination. The upper bracket's going to be best of 3, but the losers bracket will turn from best of 1 to best of 3. And then the grand finals will be best of 5. So in the losers bracket, it's not going to be one and done. You're going to have a couple chances. So that's going to make things very interesting next week.
Most def. Looks like we're
Most def.
just waiting on SlowSheep to show up. Oh, he's in here. He's just spectating. So we're just waiting on him to actually get back from his potty break.
All right. So it looks like Ty has taken the match against Solar. And so then it will be Ty versus Ralphis. For a little bit of history on that, Ty and Ralphis have been dueling against each other in the CTF for gosh, over a decade. There's a lot of comical things that have happened in their matchups. Typically, you know, they are two very strong captains. They always make the playoffs. They've gone up against each other in the playoffs a number of times, but it's always come down to ZDCTF map 1, which is Ty's favorite map and is apparently the Ralphis kryptonite, as Ralphis has lost 2 or 3 times, I believe. Someone's alarm's going off. Hang on a second.
Nice. The very, very handsome and always quite professional Human Bones, everybody.
Yeah, so this is an interesting matchup, I guess is my point. Ralph versus Ty is going to be, you know, it's going to be a slugfest.
That's over on King Dime's stream, so if anybody wants to hop over to that, feel free, or stick right here and enjoy SlowSheep versus Legion. Looks like we're about to get it on. Oh no. What have we got here? Let's see. Reconnect. I might have to, never mind. We're good to go. Had an interesting little packet drop there, folks. Apologize for that. And looks like we lost Legion in the process.
Looks like we lost Legion. Try to get him back in here.
There we go.
There he is.
Yeah, he's back. All right. No time to waste. Get a significant and important to acknowledge ping difference here between these two guys. Legion 56, SlowSheep over 100. Obviously, there's only so much accommodation we can do, but we'll see if that plays a factor in the match. But if Legion's the one who's losing packets, then we might have the opposite end of that going on. I really don't want there to be any server issues, and I don't think that was one.
All right, so the bands have started.
Firerack gone.
Yep.
Uptight gone. CGI
gone. So those are 3 out of the 4 of our newer maps.
You can take that new shit and shove it up your ass.
Apparently.
Oh, nothing wrong with a little bit of old school gameplay.
All right,
Dweller's
so
banned.
Legion bans Dweller. Yeah.
Moo King idea. What a surprise.
Wait. They have to continue eliminating.
Somebody's got to... Are we going to play Saskatchewan? There's no Canadians in this match that I'm aware of. Let's see it. Let's do Moo. Here we go.
Wait.
Looks like we got ourselves a match, folks. Gonna follow SlowSheep.
Just wanted to make sure they knew it was best of
1, yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey everyone.
So we
Dime, appreciate the raid, by the way.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
All right, let's up the player limit here so you guys can jump in.
So for all of those of you joining in, we're just watching Sheep and Wigs in the lower bracket now. Legion, also known as Wigs. And they are duking it out for their chance to go on a little bit further into the losers bracket, which I believe the next match in it will qualify someone. It's
Jump in if you'd like.
Yeah, currently all tied up, baby. Legion starting to establish a little bit of a lead here.
Then we can go in. I'm already joined. There we go.
The follows are all appreciated. Thank you, everyone.
So yeah, what do you guys think? Dev has finally qualified. He had his strongest day today.
Yeah, but we've seen some surprising. SlowSheep is definitely a huge up. Like he's knocked out so many, so many seeds even.
That's the storyline with this match, is because what we're really seeing is Legion has been in here for each of like the qualifiers, so being like a mainstay, kind of practice up on these maps, and then we got SlowSheep out of nowhere and really keeping it even right now in the.
And SlowSheep was one frag away from getting eliminated in his winner bracket game with Ty. That was 49. That was actually 48 to for Ty, and then suddenly it was 49-49, and SlowSheep just got a magic kill shot, like a mid-range SSG shot that just sniped Ty, and. Wow, and then he just crushed the tiebreaker. So
nice rocket there through the corridor.
Even though Legion is currently making it work, I wouldn't discount Sheep at any point. He has that strong midfield SSG play. We've seen Ty destroy Sheep on this map by the power of BFG. Sheep had no like counter weapon against that. It was caught out and everything. So I would expect Legion, the BFG boy, to go for the BFG here as well.
But he isn't.
Yeah, we're just not seeing that strategy at all.
Legion looks like he's not messing around today on this map.
He's just trying to finish this as quickly as possible, keeping the pace really quick.
He's on
Very
fire.
crisp.
Right now he's on fire.
I'm gonna actually switch over to his point of view, since we're talking about him just in time to see him get shot in the mouth. It seems like Legion's content now to just wait for SlowSheep to come to him. Good shotgun damage, but he's gonna have to wait just a little bit longer to try to finish him off. He does, and goes for the BFG and pays for it. Very good damage control here. He's just able to continually catch him, and they're going to play the pillar jump around, run around game, ringing around the Rosie just a little bit too long for him to be able to get any kind of effective damage in from the get-go here.
A game well known to all Doom duelists. It's just funny how we're going back here to kind of how Mu 2D should be played, because seeing this last game with Ty and Solar, it was just BFG action.
Certainly.
All game long.
That was the first time we've actually seen BFG versus BFG on this map. Like, what the hell is going on, guys?
Starting to close that gap just a little bit, but not quickly enough. Legion quickly regaining his footing.
Legion's or SlowSheep's gonna really need to go on a spree here, and that's gonna help there with
He
two
did.
quick.
But Legion still has that
Very
critical
nice catch.
lead,
We're
and we're
getting
into the 40s.
to the point where you know, every frag counts, and it's going to be SlowSheep's job not only to get frags now, but to prevent himself from getting fragged 8 more times.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that the way he's been playing thus far.
At this point, Legion just needs to trade frags. Just trade frags. It's okay. Even at the rate like 2-1, he's fine. There we go. A mutual frag, perfectly fine for Legion. But it's just -4 now. That's dangerously close.
It's pretty close. You can see,
Yeah.
go over to SlowSheep's point of
if
view
Sheep-
here.
If Sheep gets lucky with spawns,
Very nice. Right through the cracks there. He's able to execute with the double barrel shotgun. And putting himself in a bad situation there. He's going to have to back off and try to close this gap. Not going to
nice
pay off.
long range kill.
46-42.
Just -2.
Like Legion was in
-1.
position to take this win, but now it's anybody's game.
We've seen a lot of that where people get real serious right there after the 40 mark comes through. It goes frag for frag. And I just can't imagine Legion's going to let this slip through his fingers at this point, but anything goes and anything's possible. Sheep playing a very smart game.
That was a critical SSG miss there from Legion.
Still,
Very
Sheep is
nice
damaged
damage.
slightly.
He's got 5 health left.
So
And
there we
yep,
go.
there goes. Last frag
the
impending.
final, and he got pinched there. There we go. That was a really close game.
We'll see that again.
And hey, it paid off. They're in.
Absolutely fantastic. What is next on the list of things to do here, Bones?
Well,
Ralphis and
Ty-
Solar.
might be time to kick it on over to Jahar because we've got Ralphis versus Ty happening right now, and the winner of that will take on Legion. But Legion qualifies.
Hell yeah. And that's all we wanted to see. Thank you for the follow there, Kappa Votes. And I believe we'll be sending you guys over to Jahar at this point, so it's just a matter of time before I get that pulled up. Alrighty.
Catch you around, everyone. And just a reminder that the final bracket tournament with a prize pool of $1,500 will be next week, starting 3 p.m. EDT, March 14th.
At 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're sending the raid to Jahar now. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.